GERMANY and APOS top politicians have stepped up criticism of U.S. President Donald Trump a day after Chancellor Angela Merkel said the U.S. and UK were no longer reliable partners. On Monday, Mrs. Merkel said it was right not to gloss over differences with the U.S., while her foreign ministers said Mr. Trump and APOS actions "weakened the WEST" . It comes days after the G7 summit, where Mr. Trump refused to commit to the 2015 Paris climate deal. Germany goes to the polls in September. German opposition leader Martin Schulz accused Mr. Trump of having tried to humiliate Mrs. Merkel in Brussels. It was unclear exactly what incident a furious Mr. Schulz was referring to, but he accused the U.S. president of acting like an autocratic leader. Speaking at a conference on sustainable development in Berlin, Mrs. Merkel reiterated her call for Europeans to take their fate into their own hands. The debate at the G7 meeting in Italy had shown it would be difficult to make the 2015 Paris climate deal work, she said. Those putting on national blankers on matters of international sustainability were going about things the wrong way, she said. Mr. Trump has said he will make a decision on the Paris Agreement this week. He has previously pledged to abandon the Paris deal and expressed doubts about climate change. However, Mrs. Merkel also said at the conference that she remained convinced transatlantic. On Sunday, she said Germany and Europe wanted friendly relations with the US and UK as well as with other regional powers, such as Russia. Germans loathe Donald Trump, they dislike his rhetoric and his politics. And politicians of every hue are disgusted by his refusal to cooperate with the rest of the G7 on climate change and migration. Angela Merkel and APOS' uncharacteristically candid tone has gone down well with the electorate, and, given the general election is 4 months away, perhaps the public support of her main rival Martin Schulz should not come as a surprise. And APOS Merkel versus Trump exclaimed one headline. But it is unlikely that Mrs. Merkel expects, as some commentators would have it, to reset the transatlantic relationship. Behind the scenes in Berlin, there is a grudging acceptance that, like him or not, Germany has to do business with Mr. Trump. The US is a vital trade partner, and, as Germany and APOS' Interior Minister admitted on Monday afternoon, cooperation on security and defense is of immense importance and will be intensified. Foreign Minister Sigmar Gabriel meanwhile accused the US of short-sighted policies that he said were against EU interests. Anyone who accelerates climate change by weakening environmental protection, who sells more weapons in conflict zones, and who does not want to politically resolve religious conflicts is putting peace in Europe at risk, Mr. Gabriel said. Mrs. Merkel is on the campaign trail ahead of elections in September. Polls suggest she is on course to be re-elected for a 4th term.